Hey everybody, MTG Orzo here. It's been a while since I made a video, but we're going to change that. So, as you can kind of guess, we're doing another Commander series, this time with Korlash, Heir to Blackblade. Just like with Cedrus and Mile, we're going to go over the deck, talk about its, principles, what it wants to do, and then we'll play through some games. So, Korlash, we can start off with the general, is a legendary creature, zombie warrior, 2 black and 2. Power and toughness equal to the number of swamps you control. This is a major part of the deck's theme. So this deck is Voltron in a mono black control shell. So lots of ways of getting swamps out. Cards like Liliana, cards like Burnished Heart gets the swamps out there, powering up our general while we equip him with our equipment and beat in. The rest of this deck kind of provides the shell in which he can kind of run around in. You can pay 1 and a black to regenerate him. Sometimes it's useful. His Grandeur ability, one of the few abilities in Magic the Gathering that are actually useless in EDH, because it requires you to discard another card named Korlash. There are ways to do it. You can set it up with some weird cloning stuff, but nothing like that in this deck. So right now he is a XX for 4 with Regenerate. So because we need a lot of swamps for Korlash, I run, I think, 1 more land than I usually run. I'm running 36 in this deck. Most of them are swamps. But I've got a couple interesting ones. Well, we got Ancient Tomb, we've got Barren Moor, Bojuka Bog, Cabal Coffers. You see Cabal Coffers, you know we have to have Urborg all the way down here. Temple of the False Gods, just a slower Ancient Tomb. We've got, Nykthos is pretty good. So Nykthos and Cabal Coffers, there's a small, mono black control. Historically makes a bunch of mana and then just kills someone with like Exsanguinate. Kills everyone with Exsanguinate rather. But it's not exactly what Korlash wants to do. It's just, it can mean we can just beat in with Korlash forever, and then eventually it'll get through. We can either just keep regenerating it or just keep recasting it. And we got Lake of the Dead, cool land from alliances. If it would enter the battlefield, sacrifice a swamp instead. If you do, you can put it onto the battlefield. If you don't, put Lake of the Dead into the graveyard. You tapped out a swamp, so it replaces itself. And you can tap it, sacrifice a swamp to add 4. So that's really good when we don't have a lot of mana, but we lost an early Korlash. Maybe we need to get out Necropotence or a Phyrexian Arena, and we had to play our land as Lake of the Dead. I mean, it's a very black land. Sacrificing swamps can really bite you in the ass, especially if they hit you with like a strip mine. Reliquary Tower goes phenomenally with Necropotence. This deck likes to draw a lot of cards. I mean, you can kind of not blame it. This deck will run out without that. So I think that's on the lens. Yep. Alright, so 0 drops, Mana Crypt. Nothing interesting to say about a Mana Crypt. 1 drops rather. So, because this is a 1v1 deck, and I'm primarily a 1v1 player, I'm running Duress. It's just a good way to get out removal, counterspell Wrath. Don't own a Thoughtseize, or I would play it. We got Tainted Strike. Okay, so Tainted Strike, common from Scars. Target creature gets +1/+7, gains Infect until end of turn. So, if you have 9 swamps out, or a way to make him 9 power, and he's unblockable, he's unblockable, or they don't block thinking that you don't have enough commander damage, Tainted Strike is a way to just grab the win. Vampiric Tutor, basic. Expedition Map grabs any of our crazy lands, Bojuka Bog, Cabal Coffers, Urborg, Nykthos, stuff like that. Mana Vault, fast mana. Both Mana Vault, Soul Ring, and Mana Crypt ensure a turn 2 Korlash with 2 black sources, which is good. So One drop slot's not very interesting. I should probably add Sword of the Animist to this deck now that I'm thinking about it. Do I have enough? How many tickets? 2 tickets. Hold on 1 second. Sword of the Animist seems really good in this deck. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the purchase for Sword of the Animist. It seems really good with Korlash. Every time he attacks, grab a swamp and make him bigger. So, going on to 2 drop slots, we're running a nice suite of removal. We've got Cruel Edict, Diabolic Edict, and Geth's Verdict. Just ways to get stuff out of the way, get rid of early commanders, get rid of stuff we couldn't get rid of it otherwise. We've got Go for the Throat as our 2-mana kill spell. We've got Demonic Tutor because it's Demonic Tutor. We've got Hypnotarok because it's the best discard spell in 1v1. We got some ramp going on. We've got Charcoal Diamond. We've got Cold Steel Heart, naming black. And we've got Mind Stone, cycles. Cool art. And then we start to get into our only real equipment suite. Got Lightning Greaves, standard. GT, not many decks. What am I saying? Okay, every deck could run a GT. Not many decks that I play run a GT, that especially ones that aren't white, so you can't tutor it up. But I mean, it's hard to argue it, and I'm not playing the swords, like the Sword of X and Y. So GT just made sense. I'm just gonna go ahead and go over the rest of the equipment. We've got Darksteel Plate is indestructible. It makes something indestructible. Strata Scythe gets bonuses for all the swamps as well. With Cloak, Shroud, and Unblockable, and then Lash Writhe comes with a dude, free to equip, and doubles Korlash's power. So now we got 3 drops. We got a cool card, Dothi Embrace. 2 and a black for an enchantment. Pay 2 black, target creature gains shadow. Means it can block or be blocked by only creatures with a shadow. It's a great way to force them through. Not many players in EDH nowadays run shadow, so you can kind of run around free. We got more sacrifice effects in Fleshbag Marauder and his new cousin, Merciless Executioner. Just ways to get rid of guys. Read the Bones for some draw. Hero's Downfall for general creature, planeswalker removal. Phyrexian Arena, extra draw. Royal Assassin, some removal. And because I found it had some pretty cool art. Sudden Spoiling, probably one of the best black cards in EDH. Can keep you from getting blown out. Can keep them from, or can make them have a really bad block. It's a really potent card. It's also a way to get rid of Eldrazi. You cast this, and then you can Hero's Downfall them. Oh. 1 second. I'm getting a message. Please trade me at your earliest convenience. Trade. I think this is my sword. No. I'm back. Yes, please. Submit. Oh, sweet, I have credit left. Well, that was useful. Go away. Thank you. Thank you, MTGO traders. Go ahead and put that in. Seems worth it. Okay, what do we take out? Do I want to take out GT? No, get rid of Cold Steel Heart. I don't need it that much. It's never really done anything. Okay, so where were we? Oh yeah, 3 drops. So, Sudden Spoiling, kills Eldrazi, does a lot of things. Cool art, Time Spiral card. Split Second's good. You know about this. Necropotence, the best black card in the game. Burnished Heart. Grab swamps, puts them onto play. Like, this card came out, I definitely just read it all the time and said it, put it into your hand. But it's better than that. We got Unstable Obelisk from Commander 14. Mana ramp can deal with some problem enchantments, other things Black has problems with. 4 mana. This is where we start to get into our more mono-black control-y cards. We've got Ancient Cravings to draw some cards. We've got Cryptghast to double our mana. Sever the Bloodline is good repeatable removal. And Exiles, that's good. Damnation, it's Wrath. Liliana. So Liliana is both an enabler and a win condition on her own. All 3 of her modes benefit our game plan. Her +1 gives us swamp, so we have a continuous +1 to Korlash. When he's a good enough place and they don't have many blockers or are unable to block him, her -3, very powerful, can just kill games or end games, kill problem creatures. Her -6, it doesn't say you win, but if you're drawing a lot of cards and casting a lot of spells, her -6 makes you win. A very cool planeswalker. I think she's my favorite version of Liliana. Mutilate, just a nice Wrath. It's unfortunate that Korlash, unless he's buffed, will always die to Mutilate. Lash Wraith, I think we talked about. Heaven Rules Disc, it's just a way to kill artifacts and enchantments. We need that. Solemn for some ramp and some value. Thran is ramp. Shriekmaw is removal on a body, so Fear is sometimes relevant. So if you cast it, kill a dude, and start equipping equipment to it, it's a pretty good replacement to Korlash. Dark Petition. Dark Petition is this cool card that just came out in Magic Origins. If you have Spell Mastery, then it's basically a Demonic Tutor for that turn, at least. You can't cast it early, but later on you can chain it like you would be able to chain a Demonic Tutor. Cool card, cool picture. It's Grizzlebrand and Liliana, I think. Grey Merchant of Asphodel ends games if you have black permanents. The other Liliana Vess, we know what she does. This is the deck I'm most likely to make her have target player discard a card, though, so that's nifty. Sidisi of Demonic Tutor, usually just there as a 5-mana Demonic Tutor, but can also be a dude, can be reanimated and stuff like that. Promise of Power is, you can make it a draw spell, you can make it a dude, you make it both, and equip dumb stuff to it. Gauntlet of Power, it's a Mirari's Wake for swamps. Gilded Lotus, ramp. Then we've got the 2 black M12 mythics. We've got Grave Titan just for board presence. We got Sorin Markov to end the game. Cage Sun deals Cage Sun is just another mana doubler. We got Runescar Demon. It's a tutor on a huge body. Shieldred. It's just a way to clear up the battlefield and get buyback of our stuff like Shriekmaw or Royal Assassin, stuff like that. Chroma's Memorial is a card I'm thinking about cutting. It gives Korlash haste, flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, protection from black and red. It's okay, I don't think I've ever cast it. I don't know if this is the deck for it. Spine of Ishsaw is a 7-mana disenchant. Alright, we got just a couple more columns. We've got Decree of Pain, my favorite black card of all time. Destroys all the creatures, draws a card for each. You can cycle it for some value. However, in 1v1, Overwhelming Forces is usually better. Does the same thing, but destroys all creatures target opponent controls. I guess they can be regenerated too. That's something to think about. And we got Ugin. Good planeswalker. Deals with enchantments, deals with creatures, gets you card advantage. And then just something, we got stuff to dump our X-mana spells into. We got Consume Spirit, Drain Life, those classic ones. We don't run Exsanguinate. I cut it for Damnable Pack. This card I didn't even know existed, because I don't think I opened a pack of Dragons of Tarkir. Come to think of it, I never opened a pack of Fate Reforged. But this card is fun. It's either a kill condition. It's like whenever you killed someone with Sign in Blood, back when that was in standard. It's like that, except you can pump 50 mana into it and kill them by having them draw their deck, or just by killing them outright. So the deck can go two avenues. It's got the mono black control of kind of the top end of the curve, but then it's also got Korlash and everything else. Why won't you move? God, I hate this new client. So that's about it. I'm gonna go play some matches with this, and we'll see how it goes.